hot summer night. You fell in love, yeah, you knew it right when you saw her. She was walking on water. She's a picture framed in a windowsill. You give up trying to make time stand still, so you hold her. Yeah, you just hold her. And all those nights you spent are gone. Do you look back now? The time goes on. Is life repeating history? Is love still a mystery? Did you end up who you thought you would become before 1981?
Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're doing it.
We succeeded on that. How are you? I am so happy to
Yeah,
see you. I don't think I've seen you really. We talked on the phone, but I don't think I've really seen you since we wrapped, have I?
I don't think so. Like not
I
in person.
mean,
No. And that
not,
was,
no, definitely not in person, but even like
uh,
FaceTime or anything. So it's nice to see your face. So we know each other because, well, first, my best friend worked opposite you on True Blood for quite a while,
oh yeah,
right?
Ashley. It's
Ashley.
amazing. Love
And
Ashley.
so I heard about you all the time because you guys had like every scene together, didn't you?
We had so much.
I
She
mean,
was like
her
my head
scenes were with you.
waitress. Yeah, that I had a big crush on, my character did. So we
Yes, I remember.
for season two, it was all Ashley. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I had
Yeah.
a newborn and I was at home doing
Oh,
nothing. And she was on True Blood set, being so glamorous, being a shapeshifter and,
right.
having romance or whatever. I was like,
Having sex
ah.
on a pool table.
Yes, exactly. I remember that well. Um, so I was going to ask you how you got your start, which I always loved learning about coming up as an actor, like how you, because I know you're from New Orleans, right?
Well, I was born in New Orleans, but I spent the first few years of my life in Louisiana, the first 10, but then I really grew up in West Virginia. So that's where I was from
Okay.
fourth grade till college.
And then you're in Brown, and then you're in New
Yeah, then I
York,
went to
right?
Brown. Yeah, then I went to Brown and I was gonna be a physics major. I wanted to be an astrophysicist. Like, what the hell? Like
Wow.
I didn't, yeah. I
That's a
quickly
big
learned I was gonna be in the
difference.
bottom half of my class in astrophysics. So I quit that, and then I was a semiotics major, which is like a French philosophy. But then a friend of mine who I was in bands in college. I was always music, but this guy was always
Yeah.
actor, and he's become music. But senior year, he's like, "You should audition for a play," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I should." I'd been watching actors at school, and it was very clicky and very much like, who am I to even consider, even think about doing something like that? But I auditioned for a play and I got cast. And then I did a couple plays my last semester of college. And then I did Brown
Wow.
Summer Theater, which was like three plays. And when I got Brown Summer Theater, because that was kind of difficult to get, they just hired like three actors, and then hired
Yeah.
alumni to come in. Then I was like, I maybe I can do this. So I just was like, I'm moving to New York.
Yeah.
And I had applied to graduate
Were
schools
your
and all.
parents like, what?
Yeah, yeah, totally. They were like, yeah, they were surprised, but they were supportive. They were really supportive. They knew what acting was. They didn't
I
know what
mean,
semiotics was, which is my major. So they were happy to know, at least have a
I feel
grasp.
like both careers sound potentially not lucrative at all. So as a parent, you're like, yeah, I guess French philosophy. What does one do with that job?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that was not a road that I really wanted to go down. So yeah, so I moved to New
Yeah.
York, and there were a few people from school that had done that and were going to graduate school. So I thought I'd kind of take classes and then maybe apply to try to audition for Juilliard and Yale and all those places. But I got an
Yeah.
agent. I just walked into some places with picture and resume, and I got an agent, somebody to freelance me within a little bit of fairly quickly. And then my first audition, I went through five. It was for Son of a Woman, and I got all the way to screen testing with Al Pacino. My first
No.
audition, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I was such a rube. I was such an innocent, like, I was like the person, like I was like just the person, but they were like, in the end, they were like, no, he has no experience. We're not going to hire that guy.
You know, it's so funny you say that because I'm just like, I forgot because I started acting in Minnesota and I did this little movie that Marissa Tomei and Christian Slater made here called
Oh,
Untamed Heart.
wow.
It was called The
Uh-huh.
Baboon Heart, but I had like a line, but I was a senior in high school and I'm like, okay, well, if I can get a movie here. But then right after that, I actually auditioned for, and then I flew out to LA, I think, to test for, remember that movie, The Crush with Alicia Silverstone?
Oh, yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
right when she was so
Yeah.
anyway, I think I tested for that. So like similarly, kind of like I think I was
Just a
led to
big,
believe it was going to be easier than it is.
oh,
Like,
it
oh,
was so difficult after that. Yeah. After that,
yeah.
it was like regional theater, small, very independent movies, made for
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how'd you jump to True Blood? Because I feel like that's the thing that kind of got you, I mean, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but like got you going with momentum that's kind of kept going.
Yeah. Well, that was definitely huge. I did, there was a little moment where was doing a lot of plays and I got nominated for a Tony Award, um,
That's
back in the
pretty
late
fancy.
90s. Yeah, and so there was a little momentum there, and I did a couple of TV shows. I did a show called Going to California, and then I moved to LA. Yeah, and then Alan Ball, that script was out, and it was a big deal because he'd done 6 Feet Under, and he'd also done American Beauty. It was fucking Alan Ball, and that was huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think in that case, I think that he knew me from New York and plays, and I think it was one of those very singular times where a play might have helped me, or like doing
That's
theater may have
funny.
helped me get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm also
Well,
from
I mean,
Louisiana, so it was a decent fit, so
you're
but
nominated for a Tony. I mean, that's like that puts a little feather in your cap to be in
yeah,
LA running
yeah.
around auditioning. And it's funny because Freddie's story is so closely tied to Alan Ball too, because it
Oh, I
was 6 feet
know.
under.
Totally.
And so both of you were kind of in that orbit for a long time. That's funny. And so how many
Yeah.
seasons was True Blood on?
It was on for seven.
7. Wow.
Seven.
That's
Yeah. I know. It was crazy. And it's funny because we all knew we were so lucky. Like we were
yeah,
all of us were the whole time we were like, this is, even though the first year
lightning in a
wasn't,
bottle.
it took a second for it to get to where it was, but yeah, we were all pretty psyched.
Did True Blood take place in New Orleans? It did, right?
Well, no, it took place in Louisiana, not New Orleans, but Louisiana. There were a couple scenes that were shot in New Orleans. But we shot all of it here. We shot all, and people are kind of surprised.
Oh,
Even people in Louisiana, because I go to Louisiana, my parents live in Louisiana. I go back there all the
yeah,
time. People
yeah.
there are even surprised that it wasn't shot there. But we shot it here. There's this ranch in Malibu, like way down in this deep woods, and we would put up a ton of moss over between season, to prepare. And we shot some of it there. And then we'd go like once a year to
That's
Louisiana and shoot exteriors.
you. I feel like work all the time. I feel like everyone else I know is like this, and you're just like
No, no.
steady.
No.
Some things I'm
Yeah.
sure you like more than others.
I'm totally
I don't
like that.
know. Well,
Yeah,
the perception is from where I'm standing that you
I
work
know. We'll keep
all the
it that way.
time.
We'll
Yeah.
keep it that way. Try to keep it.
So let's talk briefly about Blue Eyed Girl because that's how we really got to
Yes.
know each other better. Um,
Yes.
we basically I knew of you so much through Ashley, and then we sent you the script and you came on board. And somebody asked me, like, what was it about the movie that you came on board? What drew you to our movie? Which, I'd be curious to know too. I know that it was a character you don't often get to play, which I thought was nice. You
Yeah,
did such
yeah.
a great job doing it.
No, totally like this kind of it was sort of a romantic lead, but also kind of the guy that's not uh not the bad guy, but kind of, credit to you. The characters were so good. The story was just like really beautiful and simple, but beautiful. And I also just wanted to work with you because I've been a fan of yours since
Oh,
Super Troopers and
that's
like,
so nice.
yeah, like a big, like total fan.
Thank you. That's
And
super nice.
like you're so funny. Yeah, and you're great. You're And you're
Thank
so
you.
good in this movie. Holy,
Oh,
you're
thank you.
so good in this movie.
It was nerve-wracking for me to do this movie because I'm used to being more like Eliza style, like come in, do
Right.
something wackadoo, and
But
then get
this is
out. And
but
this
this is
was,
so natural for you. Like you carry this movie. You carry this movie. You're so real in all the moments and
oh, well, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. It was intimidating though, because I was like, am
Yeah.
I, because I'm just so used to doing, I don't know, flying in and being crazy and then leaving and letting someone else be kind of the emotional through line. And I was like, okay. And then obviously, it was like in my house and with my kids. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, can
Yeah.
I do this? But
I'm so impressed with your tenacity in promoting because of course, like it just came just because it didn't come out yesterday doesn't mean it didn't come out a couple months ago. It's still brand new. Mentally, it's just like there's this unconscious thing of oh, blue-eyed girl. It's in the zeitgeist. It's happening. It's like, did you see Marie? There's
well,
more
if
stuff
it's in the
about it.
zeitgeist, it's because I've personally put it there. Because I'm just like,
You're
you know,
holding it in the zeitgeist.
totally.
What was it
Yeah.
like for you to have written it and then having to be in it and see it being made, like and be in it.
I mean, very
It's like,
surreal. It's still surreal, honestly. Like it's
yeah,
almost like I've compartmentalized it, like someone else wrote it and is in it, and I'm just here to, I don't know, promote it
right.
and talk. Like it's weird because I do sort of sometimes forget how close to home it is and how many ingredients of the movie are part of my life. And I just spoke about it this morning to our community, and I was like, I expressed and I posted about it today too that we had actually done much like really, really well on Amazon when we first came out. And we just learned that yesterday. And it's been so wonderful to be able to thank the community because I've been trying, you guys tell your friends, tell your people, and people have done it. So that's been amazing. But yeah, the whole journey has been surreal for sure.
I mean, yeah, because you had your kids there and your husband and your friends,
Yeah, it was
the
all
whole
hands on
thing.
deck.
It was really also for me doing that movie, I really got a sense of your community there in Minnesota. And just
Yeah.
like that's so great. If you can handle the cold, it seems like the best place to be.
Oh,
Not to get off
it's
on it.
really so many wonderful things about it. I laughed
Yeah.
about you though, because everyone's like, how did the LA actors like it? I'm like, honestly, I think they were all kind of like, I don't know, fine about it, but not that excited about Minnesota. And then you guys all got here and everyone's like, oh my God, it's beautiful here. And
Yeah.
you showed me pictures of like a run you went on. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how is Sam finding like secret paths I've never heard of? I'm like, where, every
Yeah.
time I drive by the hotel where you guys stayed, I'm like, where did he go running all those days? Because
Right. Where was
you
it?
like
You're like,
explored and fell in love with it.
totally. I was like finding little trails. I mean, I like to do that anyway when I go places, just explore. But it was so great. I loved it. I love Minnesota.
I mean, Eliza was like shopping for houses here. She was like, everybody was sort of
Oh,
enamored of us in the
if
fall,
I was
but don't
starting a
look
family,
outside right now.
if I was
Yeah.
restarting a family, I would, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and wanted to
Yeah.
leave here. I
It's,
would love
it's,
that.
it's wonderful, but my kids are like dying to get out of here right now and go find some sun. Let's talk about Euphoria. Euphoria is coming out
Yeah.
soon, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure that out. It's coming out in the spring. It's either April or May.
Okay. And how was
Um,
that? Was it fun? I mean,
it,
it's fun to be a part of something that's so, talk about the zeitgeist. It's been in the
oh my
zeitgeist
God. I
for a
mean,
while now.
I had no idea the amount of energy and excitement for this new season for Euphoria, at least in LA,
Yeah.
is so big.
That's so great.
And it was really cool working on it because like Sam Levinson is such an interesting, he's the guy, he directs every episode. He's directed every episode
Wow.
except like two or three. He writes all of it. He's
Wow.
insane. And he's
Like he
so
doesn't have a writing staff. He just writes it all.
he pretty much writes it all. I mean, I know he has a couple
Wow.
people, but they told me they're like if he likes what you're doing, he'll just start writing stuff. And
That's
so like
crazy.
I was working with Hunter Schafer, and like I got a call and it's like, can you be on set like in a couple days? Because he's written this new scene that, it was kind of worked like that. But he was really
Wow.
just very collaborative and sort of like, what do you think? Like what do you think? And maybe we could do this.
Wow.
And then also just obsessed with performance. We did the first scene
Really?
that you see me. We did because we were trying to figure out kind of who this guy was. We did it so many different ways. I mean, it was so fun as an actor,
Really?
but also he's he's great. I loved working with Sam. Like I loved it.
Yeah, that sounds intense. Like to just so it wasn't like a bunch of takes in the same direction. It was just like let's
Oh
try
no. Oh
20
no.
different.
It was like,
Wow.
try this, try that.
Wow.
I don't believe that. We don't do that. I don't believe that. You
Wow.
know, like just so frank. You know, but like it was so fun. Like it
Wow.
was like, oh, I like that's happening. Let's go with that. Try that. Okay, let's try something totally different.
That's
It was a trip.
crazy.
I come in expecting
Totally.
that I'm in charge of this. I know what to do.
Totally.
Like I'm gonna play, but I kind of know the general direction of what it should be. And if you give me
Yes.
good notes, I'm excited, you know.
I would be so shocked in a good way, but truly shocked to have someone come in and like micro, like be all in my business.
Oh,
Cause like
micro,
I
micro.
can't remember the last time I
Yeah.
even worked with a director that even really gave me a note at all. Like it's basically a
There was a
script
level,
supervisor.
there was there was a certain level of stress that went along with it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But that point, it was good because we'd already worked a bit, and so we had a good rapport. And
And does he do that to everyone? I mean, is everyone being like pushed that much every day?
yeah, I mean, well, again, most of my stuff was with Hunter, and she's been there for 3 years, and they kind of have a shorthand, and she really knows her
Right,
character. Um,
right.
But he's just they're artists. I mean, he and that DP, the
Wow.
lighting that they did, the
Yeah,
amount, the
yes.
budget that that show
Really,
has, there's no flying
really.
anything in. It's always like flying in. We're flying this in. There's nobody. It's sort of like, no, should we let's grab another outfit, I think. Should we change the outfit?
Let's
Yeah.
saunter
Yeah.
this in.
There's no flying. It's just
Wow.
chill. Yeah, which was
Wow.
refreshing.
That would, I wouldn't even know what to do with that either. I'd be like, what? Is there like,
Right. Right.
I can't remember what that's like. I mean, I
It's trying
remember
to
when we did, this is so long ago, but when we did Teaching Mrs. Tingle, I had only done like little guest spots and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I'm in this movie with Helen Mirren and it was like a real
oh,
budget. And I sat and they would turn around and the relight was like 2 hours. I was like, I read more books. I was just like,
right.
okay, and
No,
now
it's
that's
so
just
rough.
gone.
The hardest part of being an actor is either waiting for a job to manifest or
Yeah.
being on set and waiting for your scene to come up or waiting for
Yeah.
a lighting change and waiting for the scene to continue. Those are the
Yeah.
hardest parts of our job is the waiting. It's just,
Especially if you came from theater and you're just like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I miss the old days when you even just like would audition and have chemistry reads and all that. Like I just don't even, it's so sad. You don't have any
No,
of it anymore.
nothing. It's
I
nice to
watched
see
a
you
little
guys.
bit of your new show today, so I've seen your face a few times today.
Yes. Gray House?
Yes,
The
great
Gray
house.
House?
That's
The Gray
awesome.
House, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, plug. It is it's on it's on Amazon Prime right now. It's doing
Yep.
really well. It's a limited series, about these. It's kind of an interesting perspective on the Civil War because it's about these women spies who were Richmond socialites and they sided with the North and they kind of infiltrated the Gray House, which was the Confederate White House. Um, if you could
Okay.
remember, the uniforms of the Confederate were gray. That was kind of their color, kind of a
Yeah.
drab color. They needed to work
Yep.
on
But you
that.
pulled it off.
Yeah, I played Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy. So that was exciting.
Right. Who's,
Yeah.
I mean, isn't he the guy who they've taken all the statues down of him?
Yeah. 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 There's nothing of him left, I don't think. He was on the wrong side of history, shall we say. He had a big
Yeah.
history before that, fought in the Mexican American War. But yeah, it was fun to play kind of a villainy-esque kind of thing. Even though I didn't see him,
Yeah.
I had to kind of empathize with, find ways to empathize.
Yeah. That's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's fun. It's
I,
fun playing. I played the president of the United States on Homeland for a year. So I played, done that, gotten to do that twice, and it's funny because there's a weird unconscious respect that you get get walking around as the president. Even it's totally pretend, like total pretend, like we're
Um,
just pretending here. All the Romanian background, like when I came on, they're like, "Oh, the president," like it's terrible
oh my
Romanian.
God, that's so funny.
Clouds parted as
Oh my God, that's so funny. I mean, because I had a friend do Grey's Anatomy, and they were like the same thing. They were like kind of disappointed to be on set and be like, wait, you guys like don't know how to practice medicine? Like,
Yeah,
the actors are just like rambling, trying to
yeah,
remember these random medical lines. And they were like, oh, like took all the wind out of their sails because they really wanted them to be that person. But yeah, I was
of
thinking
course.
about you. You played the president a few times, which is pretty funny.
Mhm.
Okay, I have more questions from people. What do you have
Good.
advice? Like if you gave advice to your younger self as an actor or to a young performer, it's hard.
I thought about this, and I think I wouldn't have much to say to my theater person, but I would tell my screen person to take more chances. Because
Mm,
in the theater, it was so good. There'd always be an accent, there'd always be a limp, there'd always be some like character, because I would always be doing an English person, or I would just be making big choices. And sometimes, I wish that I had, at certain times just gone for it and been a
mm,
little bit, not bigger for bigger's sake, but maybe a little more in my theater roots, because that
yeah,
sometimes really works. It can take you places that you wouldn't get otherwise. So it's baseball, inside
yeah.
baseball
That's
stuff.
good
But
advice. It's tricky because, the camera's right here. So you're like, if I go too
exactly,
big, am I going to look ridiculous? However, you don't want
exactly.
to just be down the middle all the time, which it's hard to not do when you're like
Yeah,
I mean, I've never been on a series for 7 years, but I would imagine I mean, and that show had some pretty big swings. You had a lot of fun stuff to do. It's not like you
true.
were just like showing up and
Yeah.
being, a handsome love interest. You had like lots of action and stuff, but 7 years is a long time to carry a character. And I'm sure that was frustrating if you've been, I mean, a blessing, but also if you came from theater and doing all this crazy stuff to carry the same
Yeah.
thing for a long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll talk to anybody that's been in a series, unless it's like a one-person show or two-person show and they're in every
Yeah.
scene. It's like if you're in an ensemble, the thing is you always want more stuff.
Yeah.
You're always
Yeah.
going, looking
Yeah.
at the scripts. And the reality is it's pretty much how much the percentage of work that you have in the pilot or first couple episodes it's kind of be that way for seven
Right,
years,
right.
for
But weren't you?
everyone.
I mean, you were in a ton of it, weren't you? I mean, I
I
think
was.
of you as
I was in like a fifth of it. Like we were all in
okay.
a fifth of it because there was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
my storyline, Jason's storyline, Tara's storyline,
yeah, yeah,
Bill and so
yeah.
it was kind of like fifth or four different parts each week. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good advice to hear because I'm sure
Yeah.
some people would be scared to do that. Somebody asked if you go to like a lot of those convention-y things. You get asked to go to those things.
I used to go to those. I
You
haven't been to
did.
one in a long time, but I
You
used to
did.
go to during the show I would go to those. Yeah. Like
I
all
just
over.
started getting invited to the Super Troop to like the comedy ones for Super Troopers, and I haven't been yet, but
Uh-huh.
I know those guys go to a lot of them, and I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it weird? Is it fun? Seems like it might be
Yeah.
overwhelming, but
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like I've been to some big ones, like in Atlanta. I went to some in Australia. I went to one in Germany. Um, but yeah, I haven't been to one in a second.
what do
But
your
it's a lot.
kids think about your stuff?
They could
Sorry.
care less. They don't care. My kids, I, I'm, s- yeah, I'm a nobody right now. I have two 14-year-old boys, and
Yeah.
it's just the other side of disdain. They're just like
Yeah.
an idiot around my kids
Oh,
because
yeah. Yeah.
I just
No.
know that the judgment is so thick.
And
On
neither one
everything.
is an actor. They're not actory.
One of them is.
Okay.
One of them is, and he's really good. And
Really?
he used to
That's
take
great.
acting lessons and classes and said, I'm going to be an actor. And then he stopped saying that. And now I found out he's secretly taking a theater course at school, but he won't talk about it because he doesn't want, I don't know, he doesn't want any, they don't want much, I don't know. They don't want to give me any satisfaction. They don't want to cut me any break in any way in life. No,
I
they're
feel
great. I
like,
love my boys, but they're just funny. They're teenagers. You know,
yeah,
when you split, you're doing the split, especially got boys. I don't know about girls, but boys, just physiologically, back in the old days when they had to go leave the tribe,
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
they're doing mentally.
Oh, I know. I mean, my son is 16, he's almost 17, and I'm feeling it. Like he wants to
Yeah.
be in LA 24/7 and we're here and he
Um,
wants to go do a year over there with stay with my sister-in-law. He's got like but it's exactly that. I had to read about it to be like, is this because it's kills me a little bit or a
oh,
lot a bit really to have them start to but on the other hand, I guess that's part of doing your job right is that they like want
yeah.
to go leave you in the
Like
dust.
they were playing basketball outside last night, and all I wanted to do was go shoot hoops with them. But I knew, and they were talking and laughing about like girls and stuff, and I knew if I went out there, there would be like a slow dispersal of
Oh.
because I'm
I feel
dad.
like you'd like be the coolest, dreamiest dad to have. Like I feel
Right?
like
Come
there,
on. I would be a
I
cool
see a
dad.
lot of dads that are far less cool everywhere I go. So I don't know. They should
Not
maybe.
in this house. They definitely could not be less cool.
Do you have any regrets about your career? Anything stand out to you? I'm curious because
That's a let's bring
I
it
have
down.
plenty. I
You
have
have
plenty.
plenty. Well, I regret that. You know what I regret, but it's not I mean, I didn't do it. Like I regret that I haven't worked as hard as you have and like written a script and gotten it made. Like that's really
Oh.
what I know what I need to be doing. That's a good
Do you
question
feel
though.
like
Like, no, go
do you feel
ahead.
like it's hard in the way the business has transitioned? Do you feel like there's a huge difference in terms of your do you feel like you're constantly having to sort of reinvent yourself? Because I think my decision to do that was born of necessity. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
I was
Oh
just
yeah.
like,
I do need to do that and I haven't. Like it's like I
well,
really, it's waiting for the phone to ring is a you know it's a quiet it's a quiet life. Um, but the business has changed a ton, and also like we've gotten older. Everybody's getting older, so you're just in
yeah,
a different situation. There's so much has changed since COVID and then the strike.
I know.
I feel like all the big companies realize, oh, we don't really need to make anything. Like
Yeah.
we can put up a movie from 2008 and put it on the top 10 list and people will be like, B movie? I haven't seen, what is that? Like,
And yet you and I will never see a residual for that movie.
no, no.
But listen, you have like a lot more coming out than anyone I know. So that's exciting.
I said, yeah, I'm excited. These two things are really good. I have a pilot too that who we'll see, but
What's the pilot?
the pilot, well, it hasn't gotten picked up yet, but it's called Foster Dade. It's based on a novel.
I knew that. I read for the mom of the boy.
Ah, I'm the dad. You should have. Oh, wow.
I mean, I didn't get it. Spoiler alert, but hey, it would have been fun.
That would have been fun.
Who ended up doing it? That was a great pilot. It's Greg Berlanti, right?
It's Greg Berlanti and Dan Minahan directed it. And I know him. He directed a bunch of True Bloods. It's Heather, I think Heather
Yeah.
Burns, but it's a cool world, like the prep school world of Adderall
Totally.
and and like kind of the elite world and the
Oh,
outsider and it's I don't know. I love prep
right. And
school
it's
stuff.
based on a book, right?
Based on a
Oh, I
book.
do too. And by the way, everyone else does too. Like teenagers love that prep school stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like, and it's Greg Berlanti. 7 years of a series coming your way. It seems inevitable.
Well, yeah, we'll see, hopefully.
Um, do you have a favorite of the projects you've done? Of like all of
Uh,
them?
I think one of the best. I think I do have a favorite. Or one of my favorites for sure was the first kind of long series that I did, which was just 1 year, but it was 20 episodes. It was called Going to California. And
Uh-huh.
Scott Rosenberg wrote it, who wrote Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead and All the
Yeah.
Beautiful Girls. Like he's an insane writer. And it
Yeah.
was a two-person show about these two guys on a road trip. So we would go to these different towns in different parts of the country and just have adventures. And he would write
That's great.
these blocks of monologue that
Wow.
were blocks of dialogue that were so fun and so good. And it was early in my career, so everything was fresh. It was so
Yeah.
hard, but so fun. It's getting to
That's
do stuff I
what a
like. Yeah,
fun experience.
yeah,
And
yeah. It
who
was
was the co-star on that?
Brad Hinkie who passed away. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, Brad Hinkie. What a
oh,
great
I think I
actor.
saw you posted about it at some point. Oh, that's
Yeah, he
so
was a big
awful.
guy. He played football for Arizona, and he was an incredible actor. And my heart breaks. I still can't believe it.
Oh,
Like, I know
oh,
we've all had people pass away. This is somebody for me.
yeah.
I don't know if you can empathize, but just I can't believe it. Like it's like what? Like and it's been, a few years now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that especially when if it's a moment that in time for you that is so special, and to have the
Yeah.
one person you really shared it with be gone, and it's like always a
Yep.
reminder. We right before we started shooting the movie, or dear, the month before we started shooting the Blue Eyed Girl, Stephen and I lost four friends. Like, and
Oh,
I'm still in shock every day when I think about it. I'm like, what? Because it's just life. But that's part of the reason,
yeah.
you know, I wrote the movie, and we do what we do is because all those things, they kind of take you by surprise.
It's so surprising,
Yeah.
even though we know we're all very aware of death, but it can be so surprising. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about you when you were, because I was thinking about our movie, and people obviously in the movie we deal with the sandwich generation and our parents getting older and our kids getting older and we're getting older, and some of my stuff that I talk about in my monologues is about that. And I was laughing about, because I was talking to someone about in the business, and as you get older, and how you're like 35-year-old woman, and you're still like the ingenue, the leading lady, whatever, and then like you turn 37 and they're like, now you're the grandma. Now you're the grandma to the leading lady.
Right.
And I
I
was like
remember
thinking,
when
I was looking at your resume. I'm like, did he go from leading man to the president? Like all of a sudden, you're
yeah,
like,
like that. Like I remember when I did the movie called The Fault in Our Stars, years ago.
yeah,
Shailene was my daughter, and I was like, nobody's gonna buy this. That she's my. There's no way. And yeah, of course, she was my. It was
yeah,
perfectly normal for her to be my daughter, like age-wise.
yeah,
But like in my head, but it's true. Like now, yeah, it's like you go from being the guy to being, the
yeah.
speaker or something. Yeah.
But that's why in Blue Eyed Girl, I liked that we got to be the love interest. We're not the parents
Yes.
to the love interest. We are the love interest,
We
and
were
like
the love interest. Yes, I know.
we're
I love
not
it.
dead. There's still, we're
We're
still
not.
human
And
beings.
I loved, I was just, I was watching our stuff again. We were great together.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm siding with my guy there. Like I feel like, though I can't take you away from your
To
family,
be
but
fair, I wanted it to be confusing for an audience. Like, yeah, you want her to be conflicted because you are a good guy. Maybe there's a moment at the very end where you're like, ah. But I know that typically, I mean, you would have been great in either role. And I think we had talked about you for both roles. And I think it was
yeah.
your team that said he's really like inclined to not be the kind of super good
I
guy,
thought
but
I'd done
maybe
the
the
nice.
one.
I feel like I played, it was just more interesting to play this part.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the movie does that well because you don't want it to be an obvious choice from the beginning.
Right.
You want to
Yeah.
feel, you want to take the ride with your character,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what happens.
I've had a lot of people approach me saying they're mad. They were going to be mad if it didn't go one way, but they were happy, or they're mad that that we didn't like get all hot and heavy before it ended. Like, what was that? We sort of left it right before, which I thought was better to like, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't know. The Gray House on right now on Amazon Prime. You have you out in a month or two. Say thank you for chatting with me about all the things and congratulations on all the stuff coming out. I can't wait
Oh,
to see it.
thank you. Yeah, it's so good to see you, and everybody go see our movie because this movie's so beautiful and the performances are incredible. You, Eliza, Freddie, Bo, Lisa Gay Hamilton. I
Oh,
mean,
I know.
like the
Lisa Gay, I
performance.
got to get her on because she doesn't have social media. So I'm just receiving all of her compliments for her. I'm like, Lisa,
She
you
has
have to
a
be out in the
that's
world. People can tell you that she's so good.
she is
That's
unbelievable, unbelievable.
unbelievable. I
Yeah,
know. I could not
but
agree
everybody's
more. So
great.
yeah,
It's
so
a
watch our movie, Blue Eyed Girl. We're on
white
Amazon
girl
Prime. You're over Amazon Prime.
all over, all over.
Well, thank you for doing
Perfect.
this, and I hope I get to see you before 3 or more years go by.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So good to see you, Marisa.
It is
Take care.
too long for me.
Okay, I
Okay,
will.
bye.
I will. Okay.